Let's move on to Module 2, Getting Started with Microsoft Project. In this particular module, we will be entering tasks and durations to begin creating a project schedule. And we'll also learn about working with recurring tasks. In this case, we do not have an exercise file. We'll be working from a blank project. The first thing to get set up and to understand is working with the project information area. This is where you will place the project start date and determine whether or not you're going to schedule from a start date or from a finish date. You will also want to be aware of the properties of a particular project, which is where you can put your name as well as the company name, and these are values that you can use later on for reporting purposes and other search purposes as well. So the first thing we're going to want to do is working with a new project file. We're going to work with the property sheet. So let's go ahead and go back to Microsoft Project and begin working with these steps here on page 16. In this next module, we're going to get started with a brand new file. So you can simply, if you have a new file open, you can get started there, or you can go to File and New, and then choose On Computer, or just simply choose Blank Project. Once you have a new file open, the very first thing we're going to do is go in and edit the properties, which is over on page 16 of your training manual, and you'll simply go up to File and then down to Properties. And in this case, what we want to do is we want to enter in some information. First thing I'm going to do under Title is type in Software Development. And then I'm going to come down to the author and type in my name. And replace the company name here. You know, the training manual wants you to use the Steve Masters name. Feel free to do that, or use your own name there. Then I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to go ahead and save this. File and save. I'm going to go to the desktop, go find my MP07 Fundamentals folder, and simply call this MP07 Fund Module 2, and hit save there. Looking over at the training manual on page 17, it has us learn about a new term here known as a milestone, which is entered in with the 0 duration. But as you look at that portion of the manual, it talks about duration and units and work, which is what we're going to learn about in this particular setting as we enter in tasks. So let's jump over to page 18 and let's start to type in a couple of these tasks. So the first thing I'm going to type in is going to be scope, and then I'm going to hit the enter key. Right. On step 3 on page 18, it has us hit the tab key as opposed to the enter key, and then type in a duration. In this case, I'm going to type in 3, and then I'm going to hit the enter key. Okay, and then let's enter in a couple more of these tasks here. Determine project scope. Again, hit the tab key, type in the duration, and then hit enter. And then I'm using arrow keys to navigate myself back to the other line. Secure project sponsorship. In this case, I want it to represent a week, so I'm going to type in 1W so that it represents 1 week. Let's go ahead and type in the rest of these line items. and then finally scope complete. And in this case I'm going to type in 0, and notice how it changes the icon in the Gantt chart area. This is indicating that it is a milestone in this particular case, and also notice the diamond there, and it plugs the date out as well. Okay, so that leads us through task number, or page number 19, as we enter in the different tasks in there and their durations, and make sure you save that file. Let's learn about creating a recurring task, and this is over on page 20. A recurring task is going to allow us to have a repeating task without having to enter it in manually, and this is a good way in which you can represent an ongoing meeting or some type of event that is going to happen continuously through the course of your project. So I'm going to click on task number 2 here, and I'm going to go up to Insert, and then I'm going to go down to Recurring Task. And in the Recurring Task dialog box, I want to enter in a couple pieces of information in here. In this case, I'm just going to type in Scope Meeting. I'm going to hit the Tab key. This meeting is only going to last an hour, so I'm going to, in duration, type in 1H. And then I'm going to set the recurrence pattern. In this case, I'm just going to click on Friday because I want it to happen weekly every Friday, and I'm going to have it end after 4 occurrences. And this is editable after you create it, so if you did need to change this and increase the number of occurrences, you can simply double click on the task to edit this. So then I'll click OK here. And notice that it created just these small Gantt bar representations so that it is representing 1 hour on each Friday ongoing. And I can just simply expand that out, and you can see the instances in which it actually occurs. And then let's make sure that we have that file saved. Okay, that concludes Module 2. We can go ahead and proceed with the Module 2 recap quiz.